This is for the Pearl Drummers group. I don't know that much about Pearl. I've had this drum set for a little while now. I've learned a lot by reading all your posts, looking at all the pictures. I'm trying to figure stuff out. I really like this drum set that we have, but I had some questions about this particular set and some other questions for you guys, because you guys seem to be like the Pearl gurus, and I've already learned a lot just by reading everything. So I've been telling everybody that this is an export, but after looking at all your guys' stuff, I don't think it is. This is a 10 lug bass drum. It's 22, and I think it's 16. I'm not quite sure how to measure that with all the stuff on it. And I think the exports only have 8 lugs. I could be wrong. This is a 12 by 10, a 13 by 11, and the floor tom is a 16 by 16. Now don't look at the snare. This is a Tama snare. I've been a Tama guy my whole life. I've also been a pasty guy. I say pasty, I know it's peisty, my whole life, and I sold everything and rebought all Zildjians, and they seem to be better for what we're doing here. This is a Tama snare. It's a 14 by 5.5, so don't pay attention to that. It's wood. It's just, I don't remember what came with this. We got this used a while back. I'm using Evans EC2s on batter and reso, and they are tuned unison. You know, I tune it to the wood on the bottom one first, and then I put the top one on and I tune it to the wood. And they're basically, both tensions are the same. And I've done that for all 3 of these. And I think this particular drum set sounds killer. I have no idea what kind of wood this is because I don't know exactly what I have here. But I'll see if I can show a couple of little things of how these sound with and without the processing that we're using on there. The bass drum tuning is the one I've been having the most problems with. I can't seem to get the particular sound I'm looking for out of it. I had an Aquarian Super Kick 2 on this side. I've tried different resos. Right now, this is an Evans EMAD with the thing inside of it. I left it in there for now. And right now, I'm using one of these without the hole cut in it. I've tried this side without the head on there. I've tried this side with a 6-inch port. But all the advertisements I see for these older kits, and I don't know if the badge helps to decide what year this might be. I don't know. I can't find actual serial numbers. There's serial numbers on there, but I don't know how to look these things up. And all the advertisements have like what looks like a 10-inch or something hole, like a big hole in the middle. And I don't know if that's how this drum should be tuned, if there's a very specific tuning for this particular drum. you know, or what are other people doing? I've had tamas in the past. I've always had tamas. We had a Slingerland at one point, a CB something. Heck, we've had we did have a Forum at one point. We got a really good sound out of that. We had a Pulse in here at one point. That's like garbage. We were getting a really good sound out of that. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, man, that's garbage. But it's like, once you find the right combinations of head for whatever, you know, wood or whatever sizes they are, you can get a really good sound. So right now we're getting a killer sound out of these toms. I've been playing with I got a whole closet full of bass drum heads. I've been playing with different stuff. I tried tuning it how I do with the toms, you know, to the wood. That seems to be a better way to go. That's an old school trick. Instead of just going right above wrinkle right from the start and chucking padding in there, I'd rather have the tone of the drum and then put padding in there and tone it down. That way you're getting the frequencies of the bass drum coming out. Instead of starting at the bottom, you know, you're starting at a regular drum point. But I was just wondering if you guys could help me with any of that stuff. What is this drum set? What heads are people running on this particular kit or these sides? I don't even know what kind of wood it is. I don't know if that would help. And what are people running on this particular bass drum? I'm trying to get a better sound. I've also played with different types of microphones. Right now we're using this mic. I don't even know what this is. We have one of these that goes inside of there so that the microphone can get suspended right in the center and, you know, pointed right at the beater, which I did before. I took the front head off and I've put the microphone in there and I put it right at the beater. I had it in the port and I've done all kinds of stuff. Right now, this is the setup as it is right now. And I'll see if I can do a little demo and show you guys what that sounds like. The other question I have is we've had racks in the past, but they've all been round tubes like a Gibraltar. I had an off-named Gibraltar once. I don't even know what it was. We've got it used. It didn't even have the Gibraltar thing on there. It was just some, I don't know, random thing. It was really cool. But the racks are really cool because you can get your floor space back. You know, we used to have slat wall like this in the other studio. This is just a drum room now. This was in the big studio and we had it on all the walls, and that way everybody could hang their guitars up and we got all our floor space back. I would love to get another rack to get some of this floor space back, but I had a question about the Pearl Icon racks because they're square. Now, when you have a round tube, you know, you have your clamps and you can move them on the tube as little or as much as you want. My question is for the Pearl Icon, you know, you're going to have the clamp here, but then if you need to move it, you have to go a whole 90 degrees, don't you? And then, you know, either way, you can't just go like a little bit, like 10 degrees, 50, whatever it may be. That's just an example. I'm sure you can still, by twisting everything else, you can get your cymbals where you want them to be. And I would use the rack mostly for the cymbals. Unless I can get these toms on there, because they're on a tom stand, it would be mostly for the cymbals and the cymbal stands. We have a lot more cymbals in the closet I would like to put up here, but I would rather have a rack first instead of shoving more stands all over this room. But that was my question about the Pearl Icon. I would love to have it because it's square, you know, and that way I don't know. We had problems with one of ours kind of slipping on the tubes, and we had to really clamp down on them really, really tight so that things wouldn't move. So I'm sorry I seem like a noob. I've had a gazillion drum sets. I'm an old man. I'm not really familiar with Pearl. I've learned a lot from you guys, and I thank you a lot. I thank you everybody for answering my questions on this particular thing, because I really want to take care of this. I do like it. If I do find another Tama, I'm going to swap this one out probably. I'm not sure, because I really like this set right now. It's doing exactly what I want it to do except for the bass drum. So thank you in advance to everybody. You guys have all been really awesome. You guys are like the Pearl gurus. You're awesome. Saturday night's the best.